Yeah, welcome to Akshara online classes. This is Ghaffar sir, your physics faculty. Let us start our session. Akanksh, are you there? Is it my voice is audible? Akanksh. Akanksh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's do some problems based on the yesterday's topics. Right? Shall I start the? Shall I give the problems? So look at the problems. Yeah, is it able to see these problems? Yeah, see the 18th, 20, 21 up to 26. Let's do the things. Can you read the 18th question? Dash is used to measure the instantaneous speed of the vehicle. Generally, instantaneous speed means the speed at that instant. Okay. For example, we are going in a bus or car or bike. So you will observe the reading on the in the whatever the present in the meter, you will observe the reading of the speed. So that is nothing but instantaneous speed. The reading whatever the giving the instrument actually called the speedometer, since our answer is what? Speedometer. Understand? Similar way, let's take the second one. Displacement per time is equal to. Can you tell me displacement per time? What is the answer? Displacement per time. Displacement per time. What is the answer for displacement per time? Answer for displacement per time. Yes, Akanksh, are you there? Displacement per time. Displacement per time is also nothing but velocity. Next, same way, product of velocity and time. So you know that here, look at here. You know, velocity is equal to displacement by time. From here, displacement is equal to velocity into time. Am I right? That velocity into time, nothing but product of velocity into time. Since what you will get? You will get displacement. Similar way, the CGS unit of velocity or CGS unit of velocity. SI unit is meter per second, so it is not our answer. This is acceleration unit, so this is not our answer. Now, this is your answer. This is acceleration unit in CGS unit. So the third one is our answer. Next, rate of change in velocity is called. Can you tell me what is the rate of change in velocity? The rate of change in velocity is nothing but, so change in velocity with the time, which means that delta V by delta t. What is mean by delta V by delta t? Delta V by delta t is nothing but simply acceleration. Similar way, the value of next look at the 23rd. If a body is starting from rest, its initial velocity is. Tell me what is the answer? If the body is starting from rest, its initial velocity is 0 simply. The value of acceleration due to gravity is. So the value of acceleration due to gravity on the earth's surface is 9.8 or 10 meter per second square will take. So similar way, the dimensional formula of which of the following below pairs is same. You know dimension formula? Dimension formula means it is a formula expressing all physical quantities in terms of fundamental quantities is called a dimension formula. We are not explaining the term, so we will not discuss now this. Let's go for 26. If the velocity of the body goes on decreasing with time, then the body is said to have. Velocity keep on decreasing. Generally, when velocity keep on increasing, generally we call that is the acceleration. When the keep on decreasing, that is called deceleration. Since the answer for this 26 is deceleration. So next, let's go for other thing. Let's go for other thing. Yeah. So this is the other. So this is your other one. So the thing is, yeah. Next, the following is a scalar quantity. Which of the following is a scalar quantity? The in which of the following is scalar quantity? You know that work is a scalar quantity. This is a vector. Force is a vector. Momentum is a vector. Velocity is a vector. Since this is not our answer, this is not our answer, this is not our answer. Next, which of the following is a vector? Again, the force is a vector. The remaining all is. I think we done this PPT. So let's go for other session, other topic. Okay. Let's go for other topic. Yeah, I'll go for other topic. The other topic is so the other topic is, let's go for the other topic. Yesterday we have seen that all equations of motions. Can you tell me all equations of motion? First one is, we have learned that first equation of motion is V is equal to U plus AT. Next one is S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Next, third one is V square minus U square equal to V square minus U square equal to 2AS. This is the equations of motion we have learned. Now let's derive for third equation of motion, that is Sn is equal to U plus A by 2 to n minus 1. This is the derivation we learn. Further, I'll take a situation. The situation is, a object started at here and traveled in a straight line motion. It is traveled for n seconds. It traveled n seconds. The object is traveled n seconds. When the object is traveled n seconds, now first of all, when an object traveled in 1 second, you can write by using the formula second equation, you can write the answer as distance traveled in 1 second as u of 1 plus half a 1 square. This is the way we can define the distance traveled by the body in 1 second with acceleration a. Similar way, distance traveled in 2 seconds, that is, you can take S2 is equal to u2 plus half a 2 square. This is the way we can define distance traveled in 2 seconds. Similar way, distance traveled in 3 seconds is u of 3 plus half a 3 square. This is the way we can define distance traveled in 3 seconds. And so on, distance traveled in n seconds, that is equal to u of n plus half a n square. This is the distance, this is the equation for what? Distance traveled in n seconds. Now, what is the distance traveled in before 1 second? The before 1 second will be Sn minus 1 is equal to u of n minus 1 plus half a t square. Sorry, half, you can write un minus 1 plus half a n minus 1 whole square. This is the way we can define distance traveling before 1 second. This total thing, if I represent in a diagrammatic form, let us assume this is a object started at here. It is traveled in 1 second. It is traveled 2 seconds. This distance. This is in distance traveled in 1 second. This is the distance traveled in second. Here, this is the distance traveled in 3 seconds. And same way, this is the total distance traveled in n seconds. Here to here, distance traveled in n seconds. But the thing is, what is the distance travelled before 1 second? So here to here, let us assume that here to here distance travelled in n minus 1 second. But now I want a distance travelled in this duration. So this is the distance, this is the distance traveled in how many seconds? This distance is nothing but distance traveled in nth second. So whatever the length we have, when you subtracting from Sn to Sn minus 1, you will get this distance. That distance is nothing but distance traveled in nth second. So you can write the distance traveled in nth second as Sn minus Sn minus 1 is equal to, what is Sn? You know, just now we derived un plus half a n square minus, what is the distance traveled in n minus 1 second? Distance traveled in n minus 1 second is u of n minus 1 plus half a of n minus 1 whole square. This is the distance traveled in nth second. See, as you derive this total, simplify this total equation, you will get a Sn value as u plus a by 2n minus 1. So this is the equation for what? Distance traveled in nth second. Understand? Distance traveled in nth second. So this is, you can consider as this part is, you can consider as a distance traveled in nth second. So this is the first equation of motion, this is the second equation of motion, this is the third equation of motion, and this you can consider as the fourth equation of motion for kinematics or motion of the object when it is moving with constant acceleration. So this is what we have, equations of motion. Now let's talk about motion under the gravity. Yeah, motion under the gravity. Yeah, we talk about motion under the gravity. So after completion of this, all the equations of motion will go for motion under the gravity. I'll take motion under the gravity. Better write down motion under the gravity. Motion under the gravity. In the motion under the gravity, the very first one is freely falling body. What is mean by motion under the gravity? Motion under the gravity means the object, any object moving in the influence of the gravitational force, we will consider as motion under the gravity. So the very first example is freely falling body. So let's take a freely falling body. Freely falling object. Freely falling object. What is this freely falling object? Let me take a object is falling freely under the influence of the gravity. When an object falling freely under the influence of the gravity, its initial velocity is 0. When an object falling freely, its initial velocity is 0. When it is the body is influencing with gravity, it has an acceleration. The acceleration generally we will consider g. The g is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. So on the earth surface, this g value is 9.8 meter per second square or 10 meter per second square. We'll take it 9.8 or 10 meter per second. We'll take it on the earth surface. So when the object is falling freely, what are the terms you can adopt for freely falling situation? The initial velocity of the free fall is 0 and acceleration of the free fall is 9.8 or 10 meter per second. Now here we have to derive something quantities, that is nothing but time taken to reach the ground of the body and time of flight, time taken to reach the ground, and next what is the velocity when it is reaching to the ground. These all things we need to derive. Okay, but these all things we need to derive by using the equation of motion. Why will you apply equation of motions here? Because this acceleration is a constant acceleration. Well, this is a constant acceleration, since we can apply for any object When it is moving with constant acceleration, we can apply equations of motion. Now look at here, how the equations of motion going to change for the freely falling body. You know already, first equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half it square, v square minus u square equal to as, Sn is equal to u plus half a by 2, 2n minus 1. These are the four equations, how they will change for free falling body situation. Let's see. Now let's see first equation. For first equation, you know v is equal to u plus at. But yeah, this will how it will change. This will change as v is equal to 0 plus g into t. Am I right? So here v is equal to minus g into t. What is this minus indicating? Minus indicating that g is acting downward direction. So you have the velocity of the object also in downward direction. So what is this equation? The first equation is changed as this way. In this equation, this v means velocity of the object after time t, and this is the acceleration due to gravity. This is how the first equation converted for freely falling body situation. Similar way, let's see second equation, that is s is equal to ut plus half at square. How this s value changes for a freely falling body situation? Look at here, this s is nothing but displacement or distance for an object, but here you will consider this distance, this is a ground, let me take this ground, this is nothing but height, right? So when this is a height, here the object is covering the height, since this s become height is equal to, what is the initial velocity for this situation? Initial velocity is 0, so this term becomes 0. The next term become what? Half g t square. So this is how the second equation of motion changing for freely falling body situation. So this will give height of the object from where it is falling in a time t with an acceleration of g. Similar way, how the fourth equation of motion going to change? What is the fourth equation of motion? V square minus u square, sorry, third equation. How third equation? Yeah, 2g, sorry, 2as. In that v square, what is u value? 0. So 0 square is equal to 2 into what is g into h. So v square is equal to 2gh, then v is equal to under root of 2gh. So this is your, from the third equation of motion, we have the velocity of the object when it is covered the height of h. Okay, so this is how we can find the velocity of the object when it is covering the h height. This is the way the third equation of motion is going to change. Similar way, where is the fourth equation of motion? The fourth equation of motion is distance travelled in nth second is equal to u plus half, distance travelled in nth second is equal to u plus a by 2, 2n minus 1. Am I right? When in this situation, here you cannot take distance travelled in nth second, you will take height travelled in nth second. The height travelled in nth second is equal to g by 2 minus g by 2, 2n minus 1. This is the way the other equation going to change. Understand? So for a freely falling body situation, this is the first equation of motion, and this is the second equation of motion, and this is your 2gh is our third equation, and this is a fourth equation of motion for freely falling body. Okay. Let's do some problems. One problem based on this. Now, example. This is an object. Okay, this is an object. This object is falling. This object is falling from certain height. The object is falling certain height, 20 meters height. The object is freely falling from 20 meter height. Now my question is, what is the velocity of the object when it is about to reach the ground? So my question is, what is the velocity of the object when it is about to reaching the ground? Tell me which equation of motion of freely fall will help you to solve this problem. Which first? What is the first equation for free fall? Minus gt. This is the first equation. Am I right? The second equation is what? H is equal to minus half gt square. Am I right? And the third one is v square is equal to 2gh. This is the third equation. Fourth one is h is equal to minus g by 2n minus 1. This is your fourth equation. Among the four equations, which equation is helping you to find the answer? Observe the data and choose the formula. What data we know? That we know height is how much? 20 meters, and it is freely falling, so it has a g, acceleration as a g. You can take 10 meter per second square. Yeah, very good. Apply here now. Then third one, v square is equal to 2gh. Then v is equal to under root of 2 into g value 10 into h value is 20. So finally this is a 400. Am I right? 400 or 4000? Yeah, 400. That is root 400. Root 400 you can write 20 meter per second. So this is the velocity of the object when it is about to reach the ground. Same way, one more question. How much time it will take to reach the ground? What is the time take to reach the ground? Which formula is helping you to solve the problem? So here I am asking the time taken to reach the ground. Time taken to reach the ground. Which formula is helping you to solve the problem? This one. Can you tell me how this fourth equation is helping you? What is my question? My question is this time taken for traveling this distance. Here actually this n is not time, this is nth second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now this formula is not helping you to solve the problem. Which formula is helping you? You know one thing, you can use either first equation or second equation. Let me use for first equation. If I use the first equation, v is equal to gt. This minus is indicating that the velocity is acting in negative direction. Okay. So here t is equal to v by g. Here v value, how much you have the v value? 20 by what is the g value? 10. Since so time is equal to how many seconds? 2 seconds. This is the answer we have through first equation of motion. Even you can find the same answer with the second equation of motion. That is, if I use second equation, h is equal to half g t square. Here the minus sign indicating that the height is in negative side. Okay, the height is in negative side, so that I am removing the height here. But here, how much height it is travelled by the body? 20 is equal to half g value, you can 10 t square. From here, 40 is equal to 10 into t square. So t square is equal to 4, t is equal to 2 seconds. This is a way you can find the same answer by using the two equations. Understand? So that is what the application of the equations of motion for freely falling body. You have to remember these formulas for freely falling body situation. Understand? So this is what for today. Tomorrow we are going to explain about when you throw upward direction. Okay, vertically projected body we'll discuss, because The vertically projected body also one of the best example for motion under the gravity. Okay, so next class we'll discuss about vertically projected body. Okay, for today I will stop the session. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir.